Yes. Oh, I think it's the phone. But I need it just at the beginning. Can you please say like that with your two fingers? Why? And you say why? Okay? Like that? It's for my Facebook friends. Thank you. And say like that? So okay, all in time. Why? Okay? 1, 2, 3. Why? Perfect. Fantastic. You're on Facebook. And it's polluting the environment. So maybe you saw the video. Okay. So my name is Christian. If you look for me on Facebook, you'll see I have a blue head like that. I come from Tahiti. How many of you know about Tahiti in French Polynesia? A little island in the middle of the Pacific, Bora Bora, you know? That's where I come from, and currently I'm living in Paris. And basically I created with some friends an organization called Make Sense. So 2 years ago, we traveled all around Asia first and then Europe to meet social entrepreneurs, do videos about them, and we posted them on Facebook and Twitter, and we started to create a community all around the world of people doing the same, traveling, meeting social entrepreneurs, and organizing events. Yes.
Tercüme ihtiyacı olan var mı? Söyleyebilirsiniz hani, ya da genel belli noktalarda ben kısa özetler yapıyorum. Bence her cümleyi şey yapmamıza gerek yok. Zaten resimlerle de destekli olacak. Ben arada bir durup toparlayıp özet yapar, sonra tekrar Christian devam eder o zaman.
You translate?
Efendim? Tamam.
You translate? Oh?
Okay.
As you want.
I'll translate.
You need translation?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. Sorry, I speak fast.
Mantıklı.
Arkadaşlar kaç kişi var tercüme ihtiyacı olan? Siz varsınız. Evet mesela. Başka var mı? Bir o da arkadaşımız var. Bir SOGLA'cı arkadaşımız var.
Tamam.
Başka
tamam.
var mı? That's it.
Okay, thank you. So I start again, Bora Bora, you remember? Okay, nice. So we travel around, we meet social entrepreneurs, and we created a community just using Facebook and Twitter with no money. And I will explain you what exactly that we are doing and what is Make Sense. Yes. So this is an old school presentation. I have a summary. So basically first is about Make Sense. Some of really amazing social entrepreneurs we've met and what are the innovations that they are doing. This might interest you. And also like a part about, to continue with what Matthias started, with the differences between the entrepreneurs and the social entrepreneurs, from what we've seen for a really cool teacher of social entrepreneurship. Oh, yes. Oops. Yes, sorry.
Right button next to right, left button.
Okay. That's it. I'm ready. Tum, 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 tum. So the goal of the presentation is not to oppose the social entrepreneur and the entrepreneur, like the entrepreneur being the bad Dark Vador and the social entrepreneur saving the world being Luke Skywalker. It's really not the purpose of the presentation. It's just to tell you like the differences we've seen while traveling and meeting them. Okay, so this is our logo. And so basically, I'm going to explain you what is Make Sense. So what we do is that we find social entrepreneurs all around the world, and we ask them about the problems they are facing. Okay, so where do they need help? And as you can see with the logo, we try to make it fun, make it look like a game, because as you have seen in the video with the fun theory, when it's fun, people take the stairs and don't take the elevators. So the more fun it is, the more people get engaged. So basically, these are the kind of challenges that social entrepreneurs ask us to try to work on. So if I take the example of Mamu, basically what they do is scarves made by women in need in Latvia. So they create scarves when they are at home so that they can take care of their children and in the meantime have an income. And so the challenges that Mamu gave to Make Sense is how do I sell my scarves in France? If I sell my scarves in France, more scarves will be sold, and I will have more mothers with more income. That's an example of challenge. We have more boring challenges also, like which legal contract to sell a solar station, energy station. This is really like legal stuff. But also like design challenges, such as how do I create my brand identity for my social business, which is employing migrants women. that is called Pachamama. So this is like designing the brand. It's for designers. And we have also technology challenges. So for example, a tablet application for autistic children. So the social entrepreneurs we met, they give us those challenges. And our job is to try to make them solved. That's not easy. So how does it work? So basically you go on the website that is called makesense.org. You create your little blue head like that. Remember, it should be like a game. Then you can put it on your Facebook. And you see the challenges of the entrepreneurs here. Each time you see a challenge, you have 4 ways of helping. The first one is, I can help. You can recommend a friend who can help. You can spread the word, or you can organize an event. And basically, when you organize an event, we give you on your smartphone because a lot of you have a smartphone. Can we raise the hand again for the ones with smartphone? Okay, perfect. So you can download it just after. So you can have access to manuals that explain you what kind of event to do with your friend to help the social entrepreneur. So let's say, for example, it's to invent a campaign on Facebook to promote the scarves. You have the creativity workshop manual to explain you how to do stuff with hundreds of post-its. And yes, so an example of a challenge we had to work on, it was for a crowdfunding website. So basically, it's a crowdfunding website to finance the studies of students. You can have lots of people helping you to finance your studies. And their challenge was which business model for our company, which is called Student Funder. And so people in London worked on it. There's also, makes sense, also go to country when there's no Facebook. So in China, they don't have Facebook. But we did an event there, which was basically how to do an SMS platform to give hygiene info to migrant mothers in China. So you give them infos about their health thanks to Texto. And so we organized a hackathon. So do you know what is a hackathon? Okay. So basically, have you seen the Social Network, the movie about Facebook? So you know that scene in the movie where they're all like coding like that, drinking beer at the same time, having pizza, partying? This is a hackathon. You get people together, you make them party to make them work. And so that's what we did in China for this Healthy Baby SMS. And so far, the members organizing those events are called the gangsters. They have the blue head. We organize even in 44 cities around the world for 200 projects and mobilizing around 10,000 people. And we did, and each time a challenge is solved, we organize a big party because it still have to have fun. So like, as you have seen, the impact is really important in social entrepreneurship. So we try to assess it. What's the impact of Make Sense? And so far, 89% of the social entrepreneurs said that the hold up, the event we organized for them, helped them solve their challenges. And 60% implemented the ideas. So far we mobilized 10,000 people just using Facebook, Twitter, and the travels like we started. And the goal is to reach 300,000 in a bit more than 3 years. It's going to be hard, so if you can spread the word on Twitter right now, that's cool. And so that is the objectives. I'm not the only one doing this project. It's a collaborative project done by members all over the world. We are 600, and each time we meet during the Sense Camp together to improve Make Sense, like what should be the next website, what should be the next social entrepreneurs that we should meet, etc. And it's really like anyone can join, and the last one was in Berlin 2 months ago. So this is like, it's happening all over the world, but this is a few cities where we organize stuff in Europe. And the cool thing is that we organize tours now. So we finance like trips of backpackers. So this is Leila and Yomna. They're going to travel all around the Mediterranean Sea to meet social entrepreneurs and do workshops, hackathons, parties, whatever, to mobilize young people on their challenges. And they're coming to Istanbul on the 22nd of April. So maybe we'll send you a text. They are a lot better presenting than I can do. So it's cool if you see them. And then we have the same thing in Europe. So as I told you, it was born during a tour. We went to Asia with that guy on the picture that you see, that is Roman. We started Make Sense with a journey all around the Mediterranean, no, not the Mediterranean Sea, Asia. The Mediterranean Sea is Leila and Yomna. And here are some of the social entrepreneurs we've met. So when we say social entrepreneurs, all the people always think about that guy. Like you all know about him. Maybe not, but you will know soon. So basically, he's the inventor of microcredits, Mohamed Yunus. And so everyone think about this guy when you talk about social entrepreneurship at first. And like, also when you tell social entrepreneurship to people they don't know, most of the time they think like it's like building a school, you know, like and normal NGO stuff. So this is a social entrepreneur, it exists, it's called Book Bridge, and basically they do that, they build schools. Just to explain, this is a photo expo we're working on. So on the background you have the problem, and on the white paper this is the solution that the entrepreneur is inventing. So basically the problem is there's no school, he's building a school. So that's a simple example of social entrepreneurs. Another thing that people always think about when you say social entrepreneurs is like helping the kids in Africa with the lights and stuff. No, this is existing, but there is a lot of more interesting stuff with really like deep innovation. So this is an example, for example, in India, it's called Prakti. You have a big problem, is that they cook inside their home and they use fire and wood, but it creates a lot of smoke inside the house. And then they become sick, people become sick because of the smoke, the children and the mothers. So you had a social entrepreneur named Prakti Design. He invented a cook stove that you can place it like that. It exists in real life. And it consumes less wood than if you would use just directly the wood to cook your meal. And so basically, it also doesn't produce smoke. So they can cook now without having the smoke inside the house. And it's less expensive on the long run than just using the wood directly. So it helps save them money, and also in the meantime, it's better for healthcare. So that's an example. Another one we've seen is called InVenture. So basically what they do is that they're using technology, SMS, to help all the little businesses you see in the streets everywhere. First it's in India and also in Mali, in Africa. And basically what they do is that every time you are the little shop owner, you are the little business owner, you had a microcredit. And the thing is that most of the time, those people don't know how to manage their little business because they didn't do like universities or schools like maybe most of you did. And so basically what they invent is that at each end of the day, he sent by SMS how much he made and how much he needs to reimburse, and InVenture track for him what he needs to save and what he needs to invest. So it's really cool because like there's billions and billions of people with mobile phone all around the planet. Most of them don't have a smartphone, but they have a mobile phone, and it becomes like their best tool to manage their business. So it's really interesting to check. This is the example I showed you before. It is Mamu. How do you provide income to mothers that had to quit their job to take care of their child at home? So basically, they make them produce scarves, and then the scarves are sold. So it's a good way of staying at home. And this is a really big problem in France. It's homeless people. How do you get back homeless people to a place where they can live first, and secondly, to a new job that they can have, and thirdly, how do you create social links around them? So this is a project called Toi à moi. It means a roof, my roof for you. And basically what he does is that he's just starting. So he just like helped 8 homeless people in a little city in France. And basically what he's doing is that he's creating a community of 80 people for 1 homeless people. So you have 80 people that say, okay, our goal is to make that guy find a place to stay and a job and also like a social life. So what they do is that each of the 80 people give 10 euros, and then with the euros it pays for the rent. It pays for a rent of an apartment inside the area where they find the homeless people, and then they organize in teams. So there's the team that needs to make him find a job. So basically, those 5 guys, they go and meet him every like Tuesday and every Thursday, and they have meetings with him in a coffee, like what are the different jobs you could do, what did I found? And also they do the same with the social life. So there is people going with him to the theater, so slowly he gets back to the normal life. So it's really interesting. This is also a really big problem. In France, we have lots of old people, but it doesn't mean they are not, we can't just let them go to hospitals and stuff. And it costs a lot of money to the healthcare system in France. All those old people getting really old, like we're getting really, really old. Not so many young people now, but lots of old people. And basically there's a social entrepreneur and a big Ashoka fellow that's called Ciel Bleu. And basically what he does is that to help those young people don't go to hospital or don't fall and have injuries and stuff, he organizes physical activities for them. So basically, each week you have 80,000 old people in France that goes to his physical activities to train, to not fall, to have a good healthcare, etc. And it's reduced by 60% the number of injuries that these old people have by falling. So it's millions of euros that it's saved for the healthcare system. And so, for example, one thing we did for this social entrepreneur is that, you know, like all this exercise, they were looking at which objects can we invent so that they can do the exercise by themselves at their home. You know, like maybe you have seen the Wii with the Nintendo Wii, you know, they can play stuff like that. So how do we do the same but for Ciel Bleu so that they can practice at home? And basically what we did is that we had 8 designers inventing 8 products for them. This is one of the most amazing examples that we've seen so far. Maybe you know TED, T-E-D? So basically it's one of the most viewed talk on TED. And what it does is the Barefoot College. So it takes like grandmothers that don't know how to read and write, that are illiterate. They come to the Barefoot College and then they learn how to install and maintain solar panels. So basically from illiterate grandmothers, they become like solar engineers. And then the government of India likes it so much that he sponsored grandmothers to come from all around the world to the Barefoot College and to learn how to install and maintain solar panels. And then they go back to their village and they take the grandmother because the grandmother stays in the village and teach their daughter how to do it, etc. And so it's really interesting. And what's interesting is that it's a social entrepreneur, but he's not organized in a company. He's organized in a school, and then the people are trained and they go back to their village with the kids to install and maintain the solar panel. So this is like some really interesting example we've seen with Make Sense. And now it's like just to explain with the example the difference we see between the entrepreneurs and the social entrepreneurs. Same thing than before. It's not to oppose them. It's really like the bad and the good guy. It's just to explain some differences. So this is a class from Felipe Santos. You can check his class on the internet. It's free about social entrepreneurship. And the main differences that we've seen is that people, when they're entrepreneurs, start for self-interest. Most of the time, social entrepreneurs start for another interest. They've seen a problem, they want to solve it, they experience something that they think is unfair, and they want to change it. And then the end goal also is not the same. Like maybe some of you have done business studies. When you go to a business school, they tell you when you create a company, the end goal is to build a competitive, sustainable advantage. Like I still don't know what it means exactly, but that's what they tell. And so your goal is just to build your competitive advantage to be better than the competitors, and so that you can capture more value and have a more like valuable business. The end of the social entrepreneur, it doesn't start from the same point than the entrepreneur, and doesn't end also at the same point. The goal is to build sustainable solutions. It's not necessarily to build the best company, to build like the most valued company. It's that the solution that you invent is sustainable. That's why, for example, the Barefoot College takes the grandmother, because when they teach them, they teach to their daughter, it's sustainable, it continues. And so that was like the main things that we can share from the journey we had so far with Make Sense. Still, it's not the good guy and the bad guy. If you're interested to know about more examples, to learn about the little events that we organize around the world, you're more than welcome. This is my Twitter, Coconut Surfing, or you have the email. And thank you really much, and sorry for the quick English. Thank you.